Hello everyone, Carol Garrison with Carol's Creative Escape. Thank you for joining me on my video today. I am going to show you how to make a gift card holder. It's a very quick and easy one, a simple way for you to be able to make multiple gift card holders at one time if you need to. I recently did this for work and actually went into my stash of retired product. If I really like a paper or something, I tend not to get rid of it, knowing someday I'll use it. And I'm lucky to work for an office that currently has 12 employees, and so it's very easy to put together some of my Stampin' Up things for gift card holders, or I do some of the paper pumpkin ones, especially the 3D items that fit holidays. So it's just a fun way for me to be able to do my craft and have a purpose for doing it. So I'll start by showing you the gift card holders that I made using retired product. This is from a few years ago. This is from a lot longer than a few years ago. And it's a very simple card. It opens up. You've got a pocket built in for your gift card. You can write a quick little note, show off different sides of your cardstock, or excuse me, of your designer series paper. And it takes almost no time at all to put this card together. So let me give you some measurements real quick, and then I will show you how to make the card. To start with, you need to have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 cardstock, and this is scored at 2 inches and 5 1/2 inches. And I'll give you a little trick that I do when I know I'm going to be making multiple cards. I actually will take my cardstock and score it first. So in this case, my card is going to be 4 1/4 inches wide. So I know I want to score it going this way so that my score lines are correct when I cut it in half this way. So I am actually going to, I would go through and score, I'm not really doing it, we're just pretending in the world of pretend, 2 inches here. And then I would also score my second mark at 5 1/2 inches. And then when I'm done, all I need to do is rotate it and put it at the 4 1/4 mark, and I can run my cutting blade over it, and I will end up with 2 pieces of cardstock, both of which are scored as needed. So that's a great time-saving tool if you do want to make a lot of these. So again, 4 1/4 by 11, 2 inches, 5 1/2 inches. Okay, and then you need to have a piece of basic white or very vanilla or some other light colored cardstock that you can put inside to write your message on. And that is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 inches. And then you need 3 pieces of coordinating designer series paper. One of them is 3 1/4 by 4 inches. One of them is 1 3/4 by 4 inches. And one of them will be, well, you'll have 2. Sorry about that. 2 that are 1 3/4 by 4 inches. And they just need to be coordinating. For this particular card, I'm also using a piece of ribbon. This is the organdy, glittered organdy ribbon. And I've actually used my blends, my Bermuda Bay blends, and I just went over the ribbon with my pen. Make sure you've got paper underneath you when you're doing that, because it will soak through. And so now I have a piece of coordinating glittery Bermuda Bay ribbon as well. And it just needs to be maybe 6 inches. You want to be able to wrap it around the designer series paper. So cut that as needed. And then I will also be using a scrap of basic white and a scrap of granny apple green for part of my stamping. Now the designer series paper that I'm featuring here is the Pattern Party designer series paper, and that is one that you can purchase as a hostess with a qualifying party. I'm also going to be featuring the Peaceful Moments stamp set. This is my go-to for greetings. I love the font, I love the words and that sort of thing. I am making this a birthday card, so I'm using happy birthday on the outside, and then wishing you every happiness this special day will bring on the inside. So one of the things I do like to do when I am stamping is I try to do my ink stamping first so it can dry. and that way I don't have to worry about smearing it when I adhere things. So let's go ahead, and I can stamp one item on just a scrap piece of the basic white, and I'm using Bermuda Bay ink, and I'm just going to stamp it here. And I don't care if it's straight on my paper here or not, because I can work my punch around that. But I do, if you notice, have my greeting on crooked on my black, and I do that on purpose because then it allows me to focus more on my greeting and the sentiments to make sure I have the stamp straight rather than the black straight. Because if your stamp is crooked, when you put it on and you think you have it straight, you're going to get a crooked image. So it helps me to stamp straighter images when I put it crooked on my black. It's not that I'm just throwing these on here. Okay, and then the inside greeting I'm actually going to stamp up near the top so that I have room to write. And we've got that one. I'm going to set these two aside because I am not cleaning them, and if I don't, I will end up putting my card into ink for sure. So let me grab my, this is the dual oval punch, and I'm just gonna, oh, looks like I'm gonna have to cut just a titch off the edge. I was up a little bit too high. Not a big deal. And this greeting fits just perfectly inside this punch. And now I've got a white scalp I can use on another project. All right, and then I'm going to use a scrap of my Granny Apple Green and punch out a scallop to put behind that greeting too. There's such bright colors in this paper, it's kind of fun to work with this. So let me set this aside so the ink can be good and dry. And then to assemble this, it's very simple. I have two pieces of tear and tape here, and I actually just cut it in half. I wanted to make sure it was going to stick, but also that my gift card would fit in here. So I just took a piece of regular tear and tape, and I put it on a piece of the cellophane. This happens to be from a paper pumpkin kit. And so I just, you guys, my desk is such a mess, I can't even find things on there. But I just basically put my tear and tape on here in this strip, and then I cut it. You can kind of see where I cut it. I just cut it in half, and then I was able to peel off the tear and tape. Oh, here it is. Here it is, so I can show you, because this is another great tip when you have a narrow spot. So I just put it onto the length that I needed. And then I took, I don't use my paper snips for adhesive. I try to keep it on a separate pair of scissors. And so then I just cut it down the middle, and that gave me these two narrow strips. Especially handy too if you know you're running low on tear and tape. Okay, so before I take this off, I do want to fold it and burnish this fold. I really want to make sure it's going to be straight. If I need to do any tweaking, I want to do that before I peel off my backing. Okay. And then I will flip this over. And so this is where the pocket is formed for putting in your gift card. And then I'm just going to burnish this as well. And so you can see there's just not a lot of cutting, so it's very easy to mass produce this gift card holder if you need it for some reason. Or if you want to just make a bunch of them in different colors, you can do that too. Kind of all at one sitting. Now this piece gets lined up. I know I'm upside down. It just sometimes helps me. So I've got an even border on the three sides here. And then we'll rub that down. And then I'm going to take this piece of my designer series paper to put along here. I heard a tip this weekend with this Seal Plus, Stampin' Seal. It's not even the Seal Plus. If you have problems with it not starting each time, there's two things that you can do. First of all, make sure you're ending each run with kind of that check mark sort of thing. That helps break the connection. And then also use a light touch. I tend to be kind of heavy-handed with stuff, and so I'm really working on a lighter touch, and that has made a big difference for me. So something to try if you are having issues with that. Okay, and then I've got this other piece here that I've put my adhesive on, and that's what's going to decorate the pocket. And that way this kind of bright rainbowy type theme gets carried throughout. And for this, I just wanted this ribbon to kind of break up this heart pattern a little bit. I like it, but I think it needed a little bit more. And so I'm just going to run some adhesive where this is going to fold over. I'm kind of guessing, so I'm making a strip of it. And that way, oops, I can get it lined up and have it stick without worrying about it changing position when I go to adhere my cardstock to the front of the card. Okay, and again, this I'm just centering, kind of having that same length of border. And that gives me the front of the card. And then the last piece is getting my sentiment on the front. So I'm just putting some adhesive on the back of my sentiment, centering it on this scallop that I created. And I'm going to take a couple of the dimensionals and put those on the back and kind of center this on the left side of the card from top to bottom. And so there you go. And again, because I know my gift card is going to add a little bit of bulk, I've deliberately not used gemstones or anything else besides the dimensionals, because I want this to be able to go into the regular mail using a regular postage stamp, no extra postage required, that type of thing. So again, let me run through real quick for you on the dimensions so that you've got it. It is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of paper. You're going to score it at 2 inches and 5 1/2 inches. This piece is 3 1/4 by 4 inches. You need 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 1 3/4 by 4 inches. You could use the same designer series paper, or you could use different patterns that coordinate like I've done here. This piece is 3 1/4 by 4. And again, these two were just done from scraps. My ribbon is roughly 6 inches. It gives me an inch wrap over on either side here. If you wanted to do a bow or something else, just cut according to the length that you need. So that is a quick and easy gift card that you can make. I did do also a Christmas one using the Sweet Stockings products and designer series paper. So it says Santa Claus is coming to town. This cute little golden all wrapped up in the lights, so it was fun to be able to put that paper over here too. I used to have goldens. I had 2 plus 1 mix, and now I'm not sure what it is I've got, but this happy dog just reminds me of my goldens that I had. And again, I'm using a slightly different pattern in here. I've got my pocket, so easy for Christmas. I did do a whole bunch of them for Thanksgiving cards for staff at work. I saved my retired paper so I can do things like this and not have to worry if everything is going to be the same. So these are another example that I did for Thanksgiving. You can see how the gift card slides into the pocket real nicely here. These are all retired papers. This stamp is actually from a paper pumpkin kit, but it allowed me to create 12 of these in probably under an hour for coworkers at work so that they can get this gift card. So quick, easy card you can make with your designer series paper, birthday, Christmas, even a happy Thanksgiving card. So I hope you enjoyed this, and would love to have you share this with others if you like what you're seeing here and you think somebody else might want to make this gift card. Quick, easy, have fun making it, sharing it with others, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.